Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel Made with Love. Today is day 3 of my Christmas baking. I don't know how many days in a row I'm going to be able to do this. I'm hoping I can get about 10 or so in before Christmas gets here. I know it's kind of a little bit late for me to start my baking, but today I found a really quick and easy, because I do like to make cheesecakes, but I'm just looking for something really easier to make. So I found this recipe on Pinterest and it's like 3 ingredients. So you need your brick of cream cheese. It's the 250 gram. I am using the lactose free ones. I find it makes easier for me to eat cheesecake. I've also changed up some of the different cheeses I enjoy. So I'm using the lactose free, any kind, fat free, the reduced fat ones, all should work good. And I'm using 1 box of the red velvet cake mix, as well as, because these are going to be little cheesecake ball bites, I've got a couple bars of this ruby cocoa chocolate bars. I'm going to be melting these down. Excuse me. So first things first is my cream cheese. I have to soften it. So it's supposed to be out for a while. I forgot to bring it out, so it's hard. So it has been out for a little bit, but it's still kind of hard. So I'm going to just put this in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to soften it a little more. Same with this cake mix. This is something new I've recently read about. So let me just move. I've got stuff here way on the island. Okay, so what I read was you can't eat raw cake batter. However, if you take your cake mix, if I can open this without getting it everywhere, if you take your cake mix and you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, so give it a good stir, and then another 30 seconds and another good stir, and then you let that cool completely, it will cook the flour. So you can, so you're not eating raw flour, so we'll kind of cook the flour so you can actually use your cake mixes as a no-bake cake mix. So I'm just going to quickly do that just now. I'm just going to go put this in the microwave for a minute, but 2 30-second intervals, and I'm going to put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. So I'll be right back when I've got these both out of the microwave. Okay, so I've got the batter here, or the cake mix here, and so it's been in the microwave for that 2 30-second intervals. I'm just giving it another good stir to make sure that it's has cooled down. So it's cooled down, and I also put my cream cheese in the microwave just for 30 seconds, just to kind of help soften it. So now I'm just going to use my little handheld mixer. I'm just going to mix these two together. This doesn't feel like it's in. Okay. It is. It just felt a little loose. I loved using the red velvet making cheesecakes, because the powder looks dark chocolate, or looks like a milk chocolate, but then as you mix it, it goes the nice pink color. Just gotta mix this in. It takes about 2 to 5 minutes. So I'll be back when I've got this completely, the cream cheese and the cake mix completely mixed together. Yeah, it's starting to look like another little mix. Make sure it's all mixed in. Okay. Just scrape. Dropping everything. I'm just going to scrape this side down just again. Just give it a good turn with just the. So it should all be now like one nice ball. I know if I would have used my other mixer, it would have gone a lot faster. But my other mixer, it's being my bowls for my stand mixer. One is in the fridge with icing, and one is in the, then my metal one is in the freezer. So I can make some whipped cream stuff later for tomorrow's supper. Okay, so then you need your pans. So this is just my cookie sheets. These are the reusable pan liners. Like I said, you usually should cut them down, but I didn't cut mine down because I got 2 of them. They're almost $10 each for some of these, and I just for the amount of baking and cooking I do, I just didn't want to cut them down and have a, you know, I can make them, cut them down, you have one for every pan, but I've got so many pans that I just want to keep mine the full size so I can put them in some of my other pans that have the higher sides. So that's why I didn't cut these down. So then it's really easy. So all you have to do is just gotta take, roll my sleeves a little. So you just gotta make these into like little bite-sized little balls. And then when you get these all rolled out, I don't know how many the recipe says it made. I forget. But you just roll these into little balls and then put them in the fridge for about 2 hours. So I'm just gonna, that's a little too much. So just about the size, like when you're making like the thumbprint cookies or like little shortbread cookies, about that size. I couldn't tell you for a measurement how big they are. I don't measure stuff like that. I just kind of eyeball it. I think maybe if you're using like a cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop, probably help. But I just figure, you know, just use your hands. It's so much easier. So I'm just gonna make all these little balls, and then I'll be putting these in the fridge for about 2 hours so they can get firm. Maybe even in the freezer for half an hour, but I'm gonna put them in the fridge just because I got some stuff I gotta go run and do. So, and then when I get back, then we will be melting the chocolate and dipping these in chocolate. Now, the recipe that I had found on Pinterest where they had made it with the red velvet, they had used almond bark, but I don't have, and I was going through all my chocolate, and I thought because the red velvet is that nice red pink color, I thought it'd be fun to make them with the ruby cocoa chocolate bars. So I'm just gonna roll these out, and so I guess I will be back in about 2-ish hours when I'm ready to melt the chocolate and dip these in the chocolate. So the little balls have been in the fridge for a few hours. Now they're ready to dip in chocolate. I've got my double boiler kind of here already. Just got a little bit of water in the pot boiling, and I've got a little dish sitting on top. So I'm going to use this as a makeshift double boiler. I prefer the double boiler method versus microwaving. Any moisture in your bowl can cause your chocolate not to melt properly. It can burn in the microwave. And I've never used this ruby cocoa before, so I want to go with a safe method of melting the chocolate so I won't burn it. Now I'm only going to put in 5 squares, so I'm just going to do half a chocolate bar at a time. And I just had the little spoon. I'm not sure where I set it down, so I'm just grabbing a different one, but it takes no time to get these melted. The animals are all here beside me because I'm in the kitchen cooking, so they always follow me. It's not taking any time. This is melting so fast. So while this kind of melts, I'm just going to open this. So I did buy this a while ago, and I've never used it. It's your candy dipping tool by Wilton. I actually got these at Dollarama for probably about $2. So that's the little dipping set. Oh, the stove, kitty. So I'm just going to give these a quick wash. I'm going to dry them good, because like I said, with doing chocolate, any little drip of moisture, drips of water, it's going to wreck the chocolate. It's not going to set properly. This is stopped melting. Okay, let's give it a stir. It's starting to melt again. And turn the heat back on just a little bit. Just on like a simmer high, just because chocolate just kind of stopped melting. I know the water's boiling already, but there. And I just want to do this chocolate, dipping stuff in chocolate. I like to work with smaller batches, but I think I'm just going to put the other half chocolate bar in here. Start in this direction. Before I do that, maybe I'll just dip one of these and just show how easy it is to dip. So I'm just going to take one, just going to dip it in and roll it in the chocolate. Get it nice and coated. And just set it back on the pan like that. So got 48 to dip, so it's going to take a while to coat all these in the chocolate. I don't know how many I'll be able to do with these 2 chocolate bars. I do have other chocolate bars. I have white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate. Most of my chocolate bars, I just buy the family size 100-gram bars at Walmart for like $1. I like to always have them on hand because you can do so many things with a chocolate bar. It always makes it look like you worked really hard preparing stuff. And it's just buying the prepared chocolates is so much faster and easier than other chocolates. I mean, I know those melting wafers are pretty easy to use too, but I find they're just getting kind of expensive. And other chocolates, when you do, I've had some other chocolates where you have to temper the chocolate, and it just, I don't have the patience to sit there and, you know, like mix this chocolate and pour it out and temper it and everything. So I find just the chocolate bars just so much faster. So I've got 3 done. So I'm just going to get some more of this chocolate in here to melt. And I'm just going to keep dipping these in. And this is probably going to take me probably about 20 minutes or so, just because I can see how many minutes it's already taken me just to get these 3 done. So I've made 48 little what are these? Cream cheese bites. So I will be back when I've got more of them done, and it's just gonna make the video too long if I just sit here and you guys watch me melt the chocolate. Now, if I was making other stuff that wasn't dipping, if I was just melting the chocolate and pouring into molds, that's different, but this takes a little bit longer. I have to dip each one. So I will be back when I get more, when I've got almost all of them dipped, and then you can see, then I'll know how much chocolate I have used, how many I can get for these chocolate bars. Now, these ones here are a little different. These ones is Ruby Cocoa Bean Bar. So I think it's just 90 grams. I usually get the bars are about 100 grams. These ones were President's Choice brand. I got them at a drugstore, Shoppers Drug Mart. They're normally like $3, but they had this thing here and I saved $2, so I got them for $1 each. So I bought whatever they had left. So all I have left is 2. So I'm just using these 2. Just wanted to see how many of these little bites I could get. So There, my next little batch of chocolate. I'm not going to get many of these coated with these chocolate bars. I can tell based on how much chocolate's here, how much chocolate it's taken to make those 3. But I will be back when I've got more of them done. Alright, so with the 2 ruby cocoa bars, I've got that pan, so that's 24, and I got half of this pan, so that's 12. So I've got 12 left to dip, and I don't have enough. I mean, I've got barely enough in here. Maybe I could do 2 more, but it's getting really hard to melt. It's really hard to roll the chocolate when it's not deep. So I'm going to add another square. I'm going to make some of these will be a mix of the ruby and the dark chocolate. So I've got this chocolate bar here. It's also a present choice. This one was from Superstore. It's the 300-gram family. So it's like 3 family bars in one. These are about almost $10 for this size of a chocolate bar. But they were on sale, so my husband bought me one. And I just got, these are in bigger pieces. This one has been opened, and I just need to get some of this chocolate melted here for these last couple. So I think that might be enough chocolate. I'm hoping that's enough chocolate to finish the last 12. So the last 12 will be a mix of the ruby and the dark chocolate. Now, see, these took no time to melt. So I've got my water here. It's still boiling, and I've got it on the stove, and I still have it on the high simmer. Actually, no, I think I've got it turned up to number 3. So just a very low heat, but the water was already boiled before I added any chocolate. I just like to kind of keep it on this low heat. Just kind of keeps the chocolate melted in the pan. I've found if I take the pan off of here, off the stove, and try to do things, it just hardens so fast, and it just prevents me from working with it easy. So to work with the chocolate easy, I like just to keep it on the stove on just a very low simmer. I just turn it up now just so I can get this melted. I think that might be enough chocolate to do these last couple. I also found just doing one at a time. I was trying to thought I could dip a couple at a time, but what I found was while I was rotating the other little bite, because it's cream cheese, it started to soften and kind of crumble. So it's best just to take your time and just go slowly, one at a time. They don't take very long. It's actually not taking me as long as I thought it was going to take to do these. Just one at a time. Just get them well coated. All I'm doing is just rolling them around, getting them well coated. It doesn't take, I thought it was going to take so much longer to get this done. I think the longest part was just waiting for the water to initially boil and getting everything, all the supplies brought out. I think that took longer than the actual dipping these. Let's see, my clock in front of me, I can't read. I've got a clock beside me which hasn't been changed since our time, since like the first week of November when we had to change our clocks back. It still has not been changed, so I'm not even going to try to read that clock. So it's only taken me maybe 15 minutes to get these done. I thought it was going to take me, 30 minutes or so. So it's not taking as long. There's got a couple more to do, so I'm just going to turn my stove off now. And remaining chocolate, I got this dark chocolate. What I might do is just see how much chocolate I have left when I get these last 2 done, and I might just do some drizzling of this chocolate over top of the pink ones. I might do a little drizzling over top of the the dark chocolate, but you know, it's hard to see the dark chocolate drizzle over top of it, but I don't know, it might work. So there's the last one. So that is all 48 of the little bites have now been coated in the chocolate. I'm just going to lift this. Yeah. Don't want to burn my fingers. I'm just going to grab this. I'm just going to move this water. I'm going to take, lift this up. I'm just going to take my little spatula here. I've just got some chocolate on here. I'm just going to drizzle on. Doesn't want to come off. There we go. I'm just going to drizzle this chocolate on here. Doesn't want to come off the spatula. I'll probably have to use a spoon for that. Spoon. Let's see. There. There we go. I got some nice drizzling chocolate on there. It looks so much better. Let's see how the drizzled chocolate over top of these ones look. I don't know if it's gonna really be noticeable, but I don't think it's noticeable. That's okay. But there you have it. Out of a cake mix and a container of cream cheese, or a brick of cream cheese, and some melted chocolate bar, I've made the red velvet cheesecake bites. Okay, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's watching my videos and who's subscribed to my channel. I can't believe I'm actually over 2,000 subscribers. I'm at 2.2. So I just never thought in 2 years I would have that many subscribers. Just again, just want to say thank you so much to everybody, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.